Me tiene espionaje. El booty sobresale de tu traje. No trajo panticito pa' que el nene no trabaje. Es que yo me sé lo que ella cree que ya se sabe. Cuenta que no quiere, pero me tiene espionaje. Báilame como si fuera la última vez. Y enséñame ese pasito que no sé, un besito.
De cualquiera y todos te quieren probar. Lo que no saben es que hoy yo te voy a buscar. Dile que tú eres mía.
Today is Freaky Friday, but because I'm over here dancing, listening to music, Facebook, YouTube gonna cut me off, so we are not playing music. I put y'all on pause, and y'all can see, but you can't hear me, so that way we can continue. I know you can't hear me, baby. You can't hear me because I gotta put you on pause to be able to listen to the music so I can dance, or we gonna get kicked off by these streaming networks because I don't own the music. So just bear with me. We gonna do a little news. We gonna get into Freaky Friday. Better not bring your kids.
Nosotros ni la muerte nos va a separar. Bebé, yo soy tuyo nada más. Dile que conmigo te vas. Que dejen de tirarte. Que a ti nadie va a tocar. Dile que tú eres mía, mía. Tú sabes que eres mía, mía. Tú misma lo decías cuando yo te lo hacía. Yeah, dile que tú eres mía, mía. Tú sabes que eres mía, mía. Tú misma lo decías cuando yo te lo hacía. Yo soy tu Romeo, pero no santo. A tu bobo con la for y los espanto. Muchas me quieren desde que yo canto, pero yo soy tuyo nada más. Yo soy tu Romeo, pero no santo. A tu bobo con la for y los espanto. Muchas me quieren desde que yo canto, pero yo soy tuyo nada más. Dile que tú eres mía desde la high. El yerno favorito de tu Mike. El caco que tenía todas las Jordan y las Nike. Dile a tu bobo que dejen de darte like. Quiero esta noche entera para recordar los tiempos en la escalera. Dile que yo no soy cualquiera. Yo soy tu primero, tú eres mi primera. Porque todos te quieren probar. Lo que no saben es que no te dejas
mequino c'est bon, et la mequino c'est bon, et la mequino c'est bon, et la mequino c'est bon.
Dinheiro que ela nunca tem, ouro também nunca tem. Vitório que ela nunca tem, diamante também nunca tem.
Dinheiro que ela nunca tem, ouro também nunca tem. Vitório que ela nunca tem, diamante também nunca tem.
Mas tem mulher bonita, homem que tá luta, no mundo inteiro trabalhador. Meu povo é pobre, mas que ela quer nada, o que aqui não tem, não tá vivido e não tá.
Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby.
Que aqui é povo gosta.
Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby.
Ela que nós é bom.
Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby.
Que aqui é povo gosta.
Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby.
Não ganha pato quando aquele bom cachupa, pontinho grogo feri pra despertar pra vida.
Não ganha prato quando aquele bom cachupa, pontinho grogo feri pra despertar pra vida.
Boy, ninguém mariado, chama na lado, eu vim botar na corpo. Vidim juriado, por seu trabalho, uma patente tinha corpo. Esse questionário, pode papiar, eu uso sempre na troco. Soma de amar.
It was translated to me that this song is about. Where's my friend at? My friend said the song is saying we may not have a lot of money, but we have pride. We may not have it all, but we got beautiful women. Shout out to all my Cape Verdeans. Every single last one of the Criollas. We are the best, baby. We are the best. Did you know Cape Verdeans were actually regarded as some of the most beautiful people in the world? In the world. And guess who's in that category? Let's go. This is my this is a little bit of my cardio today, I guess.
Ela que nós é bom. Ela me que nós é bom.
Ela me, ela me, ela me. Ela me que não sei bom, 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 ela me que não sei bom.
Não sigue segura, la única panha. Nos canta comigo, vai.
Hoje é unida que panha, hoje é unida que panha.
Ziggy, 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 ziggy. Ah, DJ. Ziggy, 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 ziggy. Ah, your drinks.
Notícia que imanente, calor demais não tem que sair. Não tem que somar a pambai, controla controle, papanha geral. Cadê nada que tá impedindo, não. Hoje nada que tá parando. Cintura já toma na cor, dança com pequenas, panjubi pequenas. Hoje é unida que panha,
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 hoje
hoje é unida que panha,
ai hoje, kubowe, kubowe, kubowe. Crescente sabor só kubowe, kubowe. Ai, crepado sabe só kubowe, kubowe, kubowe. Crescente sabe só kubowe, kubowe. Hoje é unida que banha, 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 ai hoje é unida que banha, tá bem que banha, tá bem, mas tá bem que banha, tá bem, mas tá bem que banha, tá bem, tá bem, mas tá bem que banha, oh, tá bem. Ai, hoje é unida que banha, hoje é unida que banha, hoje é unida que banha, hoje é unida que banha. Espalha a pé, hoje é unida que banha. Toda pé, hoje é unida que banha, hoje é unida que banha. Me feel like I want ya. Can I feel back up on ya? Distance between our bodies. Girl, you want like a warrior. Be gone in your holster. Distance between us. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Roll tight like crimson. That's how I like my baby. Like I like my chicken. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Y'all come closer to me. So much distance between us. Distance between our bodies. So much distance between us. Distance between our bodies. Yeah. So much distance between us. Get me on the floor at the play night, talking like a smooth operator. Losing all control. I need that boom boom right now. Got me in the open like a drop top Chevy in the woods, low. I'm trying to put you in that red. So girl, don't get ghost now. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Roll tight like crimson. That's how I like my baby. Like I like my chicken. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Y'all come closer to me. So much distance between us. Distance between our bodies. So much distance between us. Distance between our bodies. Yeah. So much distance between us.
I'm with like I'm Dennis. I started I'm offended. Niggas be hating, trying to blemish my image. Who want the smoke? 2 to 3 count with the scope. Extended clip long as a rope. We wipe his nose, just like he had him a cold. I knew the boy was pull up with the gang. You know that we buying it. What is your shit? What is you climbing? I am a beast. You cannot time it. Don't point a finger. He dying. You didn't pay. Didn't fly. Ooh, we got money. I'm running this wallet. You say you a killer. Stop it. In the shootout, your gun was dropping. You really a fraud. Come along. We don't put y'all man TV. We gon' want that they gotta leave. You cannot stop on this job. They scamming, they swiping them cards. I am so high that I'm talking to stars. I'm going at them jiggers, I'm popping them bars. Don't mind me pimping. Don't sweat me, Chopper got a kick out that. At least sauce gang dripped up. What is your recipe? Gon' get an L. Try to taste it. Start to farmland, but grew watching gangland.
Shout out to my loud. Shout out to my little cousin Obey AR. This is one of my favorite songs by him.
In the backseat of your car again. Hope your nigga don't call again. Hope you don't let me fall again. But I'm all in. And I remember them nights. Yeah. In the front seat of your car again. Hope my bitch, she don't call again. In the middle of the night, when we come alive, know you're nothing nice, but girl, you're just my type. Be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds in the sky, you and me. We can be free, we can be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds in the sky, you and me. We can be free. And I remember them long drives by your side. Baby, I wish I could stare at you all the time. If it's alright, I wanna be here for all of the good ones and the bad times. Remember that one time you told me you love me. Is that right? Oh baby, would you believe if I said I love you to my heart on my sleeve? I think we should try it, like how hard can it be? I give you my love, just give me what you receive. Just you and me, we can be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds in the sky, you and me. We can be free, we can be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds in the sky, you and me. We can be free. We can be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds in the sky, you and me. We can be free, we can be free, free as the birds in the sky, you and me. Girl, if you work and I try, we can be free as the birds.
And Tim come down, turn your back. Because me sweeter than the water in a coconut. Me nicer than the lollipop. But watch a man, the higher on the mountain and the cooler the breeze.
Hey, tell me who that nigga if it ain't me. If it ain't a party, then it's finna be. Never had a problem that I couldn't solve. It must be official if I get involved. Quarter pound of fire burning daily. Harder to remember, getting harder to remember. I've been through enough to drive me crazy. I don't think my mama's gonna save me. Maybe I'm not flying, but I'm floating. If we're not headed to the top where we're going, 2 miles an hour, can you picture me rolling? Cause life is so much better when you live in slow motion. I put the new 4Gs on the G. I trap into the bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting them all with the whole team. Now nigga can't answer calls cause I'm balling. I was waking up getting racks in the morning. I was broke, now I'm rich, these niggas salty. All this designer on my body got me drip, drip. And straight up out the objects, I'm a big trip. If I got up on a lean, I'm a sip, sip. I run the racks up with my queen like London and Nip. But I got rich on all these niggas, I didn't forget back. I had to go through the struggle, I didn't forget that. I hopped inside of the Maybach and now I sit back. These bitches know me now, cause I got them big racks. Cause I'm getting money now, I know you heard that. Young nigga on the corner, bitch, I had to serve crack. Uncle fronted me some peas, had to get them birds back. We came up on dirty money, I gave it a bird back. Cut off the brain and I gave my bitch a new coupe. Either you running y'all gang or you suit. Got a New Orleans bitch and man, that pussy voodoo. And I'm that nigga now, who knew? I put the new 4Gs on the G. I trap into the bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting them all with the whole team.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I am feeling wonderful. I am feeling good. I am feeling great. I'm on a whole nother level right now. Let's go ahead and just drop the because I ain't paying no bills today.
People station. What is that? What is that? Spark FM.
Hopefully that was enough bill paying. So as far as news is concerned, I've been looking all day for like some happy news, some new news, some like put a smile on your face, kids is winning, black people is winning. There is some insanity going on in the world all the time. So, with that being said, Joe Biden says that Hunter and his family will not have conflicts of interest in the White House and uses the first joint interview with Kamala Harris to say that he wants Donald Trump at his inauguration. We'll see if that happens because we already know Donald Trump is he's a baby. He's a baby. He's like, no, I don't want to go. I'm not going. I am not going, but I see him like trying to be the bigger person. Like, yeah, I want Donald Trump to be here, even though they be half, not even half. They all the way out here disrespect Donald on a regular basis. I said yes right on the spot. Dr. Anthony Fauci accepted Joe Biden's offer to be the chief medical advisor and warns that face coverings might be needed beyond President-elect's call for 100 days of masks. So Dr. Fauci said that he accepted on the spot the offer from President-elect Joe Biden to be his chief medical advisor. He will also remain at the NIH. He also praised Biden's plan to ask Americans to wear face masks for 100 days, but said it may need to go beyond that. Now it might be even after that going on to 200 days. And if you really take a look at like 5 years ago, look at 10 years ago when Asians from overseas would come to America, they would wear masks. And I'm like, yo, this is not China. Like, we don't have smog. Why are you wearing masks? But it was for a completely different reason. They had SARS when we had no idea what SARS was. They've had SARS for years. And so SARS is kind of like in the same vein as coronavirus, but it's not. It's like it's the same, but it's not. I thought it was interesting yesterday. I said this as well, is how someone posted, we've had AIDS. AIDS has been around for decades, yet there is no vaccine. Cancers have been around for decades, yet there are no vaccines. The common cold has been around for eons, yet there is not one vaccine. Yet coronavirus just popped up, and all of a sudden, 18 months later, it's not even 18 months, like what? 10 months later, we have a vaccine. And so I think that is very important for us to pay attention to, is because we have all these other things. Even like Pavlovian, HPV, like the disease, illness that all these teenagers hit puberty, all of a sudden need this vaccine. That has been studied for over 25 years. And the vaccine is like within the last 7 years. So I personally do not trust. There's an article that says that President Barack Obama, as well as George Bush and Bill Clinton will all take a vaccine publicly in order to prove to Americans that they are safe. I do want to be mindful at the fact that who your medical provider is as far as your insurance is concerned. Because of your insurance, there are different medications. So you get the generic version or you get the Ambien version. You get so Ambien is a nighttime sleep pill, and Ambien, I think the Ambien is like $400 a month if you just no copay, just pay for Ambien by itself. It's $400 a month. I think it's like something to the tune of like $28 a pill. It's something crazy like that. And that's like, these are medications that are on the low end. And I only know Ambien because I have insomnia like crazy. And so the bootleg version of Ambien is like the generic version, which is like $15 a pill. So instead of the $28, it's like $12 to $15. And so it'll then cost you like $300 for the month versus, so understanding that different medications have like the original brand and then the generic brand and then the government brand, like government cheese. I know for a damn fact that the vaccine that I'm finna get may not be the vaccine that the presidents or previous presidents received. So that's my personal opinion. My personal opinions do not reflect nobody else but Taylor Damn Andre, okay? In other news, it raised my concerns with what the vaccine contains. And so my baby from the Black Panther said that she made a COVID anti-vax video by saying that this is a possibility that 5G antennas can now be inside of people based on taking this vaccine. I do know like conspiracy theorists are going crazy as far as the vaccine is concerned, but this is, for me, it's Will Smith. It's Will Smith. What was the movie? Legend? I Am Legend? I think it's I Am Legend. With Will Smith was the doctor who was giving all these people the medication. He was just like, I keep failing. And then he finally finds the antidote, but he was on his own by himself for how many years? How many people died? I'm scared because how you gonna make a vaccine in 8 months, yet we have all of these diseases that have been around for eons, yet they still exist? I have questions. And nobody wants to act like it's okay to ask questions like, oh my God, you're an anti-vaxxer. No, can you do some more research? What are the long-term side effects? Not one person can answer that question. What's the long-term side effects? Because it hasn't been around long enough to know what the long-term side effects are. So, California is set to be locked down for 3 weeks. The governor, Gavin Newsom, announced the stay-at-home order for the region where the ICU capacity falls below 15%, with most areas closing within days in their entire state by the end of the month. So this is absolutely bat-ish crazy to me that your current president is not telling people to stay at home. And so, yeah, sickle cell disease too. We ain't got no vaccine for that, and we probably never will because it only affects Black people. The hell y'all need a vaccine for? Y'all be all right. Deal with that. Same thing with lupus. Same thing, like everything, baby. Everything. So I question it, and it's okay to have questions. It is okay to have questions, even though they have you out here thinking that just take the vaccine and everything will be all right. The common cold don't have a vaccine. The flu's vaccine, for those who don't know, the flu's vaccine is altered every single year. So every season, it's a new flu vaccine because they're predicting how the strain, how it mutated. And it always mutates, and it's going to always mutate because your cells are doing what they do, because that is not what I do. Scientifically, your cells do all these things, and it changes when you have minks involved, when you have dogs involved, when you have pets involved. Like all of these things change. And so every season when a new flu vaccine comes out, it's like, I think this is per region too. Like The flu vaccine in Northeast is completely different from the flu vaccine in the Southeast, completely different in the Southwest because of the different like altitudes, the different climates, the different, pollens. And so it's really a guessing game at the end of the day. He never did anything to help me get along. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, who is currently 37, tells reports that she has not seen her father in 17 years and has taken odd jobs to stay afloat, but insists she doesn't want anything except for a relationship with Dr. Dre, which is really funny to me because remember when Dr. Dre's wife was divorcing him and was like, listen, I want $1 million a month, but my daughter is getting nothing. And so this is problematic for me. So Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, Latanya Young, reveals that she has not seen her father in 17 years. She said that she desperately wants a relationship with her father, who is currently 55. Dr. Dre's net worth is to be around $800 million, yet Latanya is struggling financially. The 37-year-old is training to be a nurse and takes odd jobs to keep her family afloat, including applying for FedEx to work as a driver. But she insists that she doesn't want anything from her father. She doesn't want money. She just wants to, money is not what I want. I want to feel better doing it on my own. Dre split with Latanya's mother, Lisa Johnson, when she was 5 years old. The couple had 3 children together, Latanya, Latoya, and Ashley. Ever since she was a little girl, Latanya said that she was forced to go through her father's staff in order to communicate with him. Listen, at any point in time, if Baby Rain has to call a third party to get to Taylor Andre, somebody whoop my ass. And I give everybody has permission to whoop my ass if at any time Baby Rain feels like he need to go through a communication team to get to his mama. Period. She also, the mom of the 4, hoped that Dr. Dre's ongoing divorce from Nicole Young could bring them closer, but admitted that she doesn't even know his phone number. She added, I thought my dad would come around. I would like for him to make me feel like a daughter. And so when when you take a look at some of these celebrities and you're like, oh my God, Dr. Dre has, is worth 800 million. What is it for you to gain the world and to lose your soul when you don't have relationships with your 3 daughters that are 37, 35, and 34? Like, how you don't have a relationship with your kids, but you have all of this money? No. Like, I'm so blessed and highly favored to have the relationship that I have with my children, to have the relationship I do have with my daddy and with my mom. And I just want to say that recently my mom has been calling me every day. Mind you, my mother has not in the past called me like once every 4 months, which it was okay because it wasn't like I was stressing like, oh, my mom doesn't call. It was just like that was our relationship. She called me when she called me. I call her when I call her, and that was it. No bad blood, no hard feelings, like no, oh my God, animosity, like none of that. It was just like, hey, what's going on? It's been a while. How you doing? But she been calling me recently, like literally every day. She wanted to talk to me about something. And I found that our connection happens to be the fact that we have a serious love for music. Like we both love music. And so that has been the common denominator. And so if my mommy is watching, shout out to my mom. Hi, this is Gail. You have reached my phone. I love her voicemail. It's so weird. The waitress who was denied customers $2,000 tip is now suing the restaurant, and she's suing the restaurant because somebody left her. So Emily Bauer received a $2,000 tip from an unidentified male customer at Red Hook Seafood and Bar in San Antonio. However, she never received the money at the end of her shift. She was told that her boss is unable to give her any tip amount above $500. Management hit back and said that she did not receive the money because the customer's credit card had declined. However, the owner of Red Hook attempted to resolve the issue by paying her the money out of his own pocket. She then said that the incident was a misunderstanding and she never meant to bring bad publicity to the restaurant. And now don't nobody want to eat at the restaurant because they think that the owner's a piece of ish. And he was like, listen, I'm about to give you this $2,000 out of my pocket, all right? Go on air and apologize. Say it was a misunderstanding. I'm about to give you this money. So she came out and she was like, it's a misunderstanding. He gave me the money out his pocket. You should have done right the first time. This is one of my favorite stories in the whole wide world because if you know anything about me, you know that I love aliens and I'm just waiting for them to touch down so we can have communication openly instead of pretending like they don't exist. And so for those who do not know, the United Nations has a UFO representative. There is somebody at the United Nations that has the title of when aliens touch down, you are the point of contact. You don't have to believe me. Go do your own due diligence. Go read for yourself. The United Nations, that where all of the countries, all of the countries in the world sit at a table and they appointed a representative to have communication with aliens once they touch down. That is so dope, and I love it. Leaked photos from the Pentagon UFO task force shows a silver cube hovering over the Atlantic at 35,000 feet as classified reports revealed concerns aliens could be operating beneath the world's seas. If you don't know, we know more about our sky. We know more about the firmament, what God made that before he made anything else. We know more about our universe and about the like multiple Earths and Earth 2 and Earth 3 and Earth 275,400,000. Like literally, do your due diligence. There are other quote unquote Earths because they look like they have water. They look like they have atmosphere that we can breathe, but they're so far away that we can't get there, or we have not mastered the ability to travel to how far they are yet. But we know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans. So we don't even know like the deepest depth of the ocean. We only can estimate and like tell you the deepest depth of the ocean that we have been to. But there are parts of the oceans that we have never even explored because they're just that deep and we do not have the technology yet to explore that aspect of our world. And so new reports reveal that activities of the DoD, the Department of Defense Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, two position reports circulated in intelligence community in 2018 and of this year, both including photos taken from the cockpits of U.S. military fighter jets. One leaked photo shows an unidentified cube-shaped object hovering. Another is described as showing a triangular craft with lights on its corners. Pilots say that the triangular object emerged from the open ocean and shot straight into the air. It adds to speculation that unidentified crafts are operating underwater and that officially Pentagon refuses to comment on unidentified aerial phenomena. You don't have to, baby, because if you go to Mexico, Mexico would tell you that these motherfuckers is flying around all over the world and have been for many years. And it's crazy because Canada has like an unidentified task force. Mexico has an unidentified task force. Every South American, Central American country acknowledges that there's unidentified objects in the sky and that they exist and we don't have contact with them. Yet the United States is like, you need to go to an insane asylum because this conspiracy theorist thought they saw an alien spaceship. But yet every other country acknowledges these beings as, you know, we don't know what they are, but they exist. Good rising, good rising. Hi, my love. What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. It is 12 o'clock. So let's go ahead and pay these bills. And when we come back, we're going to talk about sex. Long story short, that's exactly what it is. We're going to talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. I'm trying to get these ads. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up at about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. Let's pay these bills and we'll be right back.
you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Want to give your daughters a fun way to play? In a
I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. What? Them cock blocking ass kids. So kids are the original cock blockers. We know this for sure. But as far as the original cock blocking ass kids, how have you been caught having sex? So there was a woman who inboxed me her story about being caught having sex, and she told me that her and her husband have a couch in the garage, and so their garage is attached to the house. Their son was taking a nap. They were outside in the garage getting it in, and all of a sudden the little boy's like, "Daddy," and the daddy's like, "I'm coming," and he's like, "Daddy," he's like, "I'm coming," and the daddy, he's like, "I'm coming." So the little boy come in. She said that her husband took a blanket from like behind him. She's like, "Girl, it was like magic. He got the blanket and put it over me, and I was hidden." I did not want my son to find me head down, ass up. And he ended up coming in. He's just like, "Where's mommy?" He was like, "Mommy already came." He was just like, "Okay." He was like, "You want to help me fix the car?" He was just like, "Yes." "All right, go back in the house and go get dressed, go get your shoes, and you can come back and help me with the car." And so, long story short, that was the funniest part for me. She's like, "But where's mommy?" "Mommy already came." But mommy's really right here under this blanket. So I have an image in my head of what I think it looks like, but I can't imagine what that looks like in reality. The baby, I believe she said, was 3 or 4 years old when this happened. I want to know what happened when you got caught having sex. Who caught you having sex? What did they catch? What did they see? What happened? But the title is "Them Cock Blocking Ass Kids," because it's the kids that always get you. I'm gonna tell you right now, I never, quote unquote, caught my parents. But when I tell you those walls are thin, that's why I'm a deep sleeper, because I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. That's what happened. My mom's like, "Why you sleep so deep?" "Because y'all don't know how to shut the hell up. That's why." Cock blocking ass kids. You know what? I want to know if my daddy has 2 kids. I don't know if my daddy ever been caught. And we can't really call him because we're using the phone to stream on another app. Not long at all. Maybe like 2 months to answer your question. So good rising, good rising. You guys head over to Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope. I'm Taylor Andre on everything. TAYLAANDRE. Because I want to call Daddy real quick. I want to call Daddy and see if he ever been caught having sex, or if I was younger and caught my parents. I'm about to call my parents and find out who did it. Because you know my parents are nasty. That's where I get it from. We gonna call the ignorant one first. My mother. My father's not ignorant. My mother is, though. She rude and disrespectful. Do. She may not answer. Girl, I'm at work. Why you calling me while I'm at work? Hold on, what did you say?
I said, is somebody bleeding or dying? I'm at work. What's up?
Nothing. I was just going to ask you a question. You got time for me to ask you a question?
No, I don't. I'm just about to do a trade change.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What I told you, she the ignorant one. Is somebody bleeding or dying? I'm at work. But I do the same thing with my kids. But why you got to talk to me like I'm one of these damn kids? Because you one of these damn kids. Let's call my daddy. He probably watching. Hi, Daddy. We calling you right now. Hi, Daddy. Have you ever been caught having sex?
Hold on, let me put you on pause for 1 second.
What does pause mean, Daddy? How you gonna pause me? Oh. I'm trying to connect him to this, what's the name? But this thing made me forget it and then re-add it every single time.
Okay.
Hi, Daddy. How you doing?
Today is Freaky Friday. Yes, it is. And you got me on the air. I'm going to beat you later.
So have you ever been caught having sex, Father?
By who? No.
Tell us the truth.
Never.
We want to know the truth.
No.
What?
Yep.
What do you mean you've never been caught? Not even by kids, just by people. You've never been caught.
No. Mm-mm.
Daddy, you've never had sex in like a weird place?
Yes, I have. Never got caught, though. Well,
good answer.
Okay,
good answer.
Okay. If getting caught means when I was in the Air Force, one of my roommates walked in on me one day, or watching one night in the room. But we was under the covers and everything, so he didn't see a whole lot of that. But if that's getting caught, then yeah.
Hold on, I thought people couldn't be on base.
Baby, they can. You can have people on the base. There's people on the base on the base. I didn't say the person was not military. There are females in the Air Force, in the military.
Ooh, Daddy, you were sleeping with a coworker?
No, I didn't say that.
What are you saying? What are you saying? I'm trying to decipher what you're saying. It don't sound too.
Stop trying to decipher. I answered your question. You asked me whether I ever caught based on if having somebody walk in on you while you're doing that. See, my idea of getting caught is your parents catching you or your kids. You've never, and Alex never, because I never did that around you.
I don't think you've ever had company with me.
Oh, I did, but it was never when you were there. Whenever you came to visit me, before you moved in, whenever you came to visit me, I'd never brought anybody around. Maybe during the day to go out to eat or something, but there was no, she was sleeping over the house while you was there. No, none of that.
You're right. You absolutely right.
No. See, That's why I try to teach you girls about how to be discreet so nobody knows your business.
No, Daddy,
Even your
you taught
kids.
us that you did nothing. You did not teach us that. You just did nothing. I don't have no memories of you ever with a female ever. It was non-existent. That's not teaching.
Then
That's
how many girls? Well, you didn't meet that many because one, I didn't bring a lot of them around you. One, maybe two, three you may have met in your entire life.
yes, that sounds about right.
Okay. So that's the discreet part I'm talking about.
That needs to be an explicit conversation. Like, I have people in my life, yet these people, you will never see them.
Well, I don't have to have that because at that point, when as young as you were, it wasn't something I wanted to expose you to anyway. As you got older, yeah. But when you're 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, no, you don't need to see what I'm doing. And you don't need to see people who are at that point in my life temporary.
Facts, Father, facts. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But you've never been caught.
Not by my parents and not by somebody that I was embarrassed to get caught by. Getting caught by your roommate in the military is not embarrassing. I've walked in on my roommate a couple times. So
Daddy, somebody said if you ain't never been caught, you ain't never been with it. You ain't about that life. If you ain't never been caught, you ain't about that life.
Look, there are a lot of people in jail who got caught. That's all I'm gonna say. Getting caught don't make you better. It just means you got sloppy. You got careless.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. I'm sticking with it. Getting caught is not a badge, right? That just means you're careless. I ain't doing dirt with you. You can't keep your own stuff together. How my boy said, do your dirt by your lonely. Don't get caught with somebody else's mess.
Oh, shoot. Yo, there's mad comments on Facebook that I'm missing. Oh, yay. Okay, so my daddy ain't never been caught. I called my mother. You know what she said? If somebody ain't dying or bleeding, get off my phone because I'm working. But you know what? I called it. If you go back, I was like, what? She gonna be like, what do you want? I'm working right now.
I'm listening. I'll go back and listen.
Yeah, I already knew it. I've never been caught by kids. No, I've never been caught by kids.
Mm-mm. And thank God I've never quote unquote caught my kids. Now look. Okay, look. Now look. That don't mean I don't know what went down. And we'll have this conversation off air.
No, Daddy, I don't want to have this conversation ever. No, I don't ever want this conversation ever.
Look, hold on, women. You called me and started this.
No, hold on, Father. I'm joking. I really don't ever want to have that conversation because I can think of one time that I had no business doing what I was doing, and I should have been caught. I should have been caught and whooped. That's what should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, what time are you talking about?
It wasn't that I was 100%, but there was just enough evidence to know that when 1 + 1 + 1 is 3, you know what it went down. So yeah, I'll tell you when we get off the air.
Daddy, I'm so nervous. I know I'm a grown-ass person. I'm real nervous right now.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. You were staying with me.
Uh-huh.
And I came home one day, and you had took some pictures with a boy that was over the house. And I told you no boys in the house. But I have to tell you this off the air. I don't want to put. No, I'll tell you this off the air.
Oh my gosh, Father, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I know what you're talking about. And him and I are still really good friends to this day.
That's good. I'll tell you one boy that really pissed me off was that one boy that came and tried to play like he had just got to the house after I got off work. And then I had to give him a ride back to Boston.
Hold on, Daddy. Let me tell you how that is. I wish I could like rewind time and like completely remove that situation out of my life. Why was I so dumb at 16? Like, why? Why? Daddy, when I tell you, I think I saw him like a year ago, and I was like, nope, non-existent. That never happened. That never happened. Ever. I'm not claiming. Yo, listen, if he ever claimed me, that I don't know what he talking about.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't. Wrong one. I don't know. There might be a lot of Taylors out here. But I'm not her. Oh, Father, I love you so much. So Jay said that you're the real MVP.
Oh yeah. All day, twice on Saturday.
Twice on Saturday. And you ain't never been caught by nobody. Well, if you ain't been caught by your kids, I know you ain't been caught by nobody else's kids.
No. Again, it was all about just time and discretion.
Okay. Go back to work, Father. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day today.
I will. You enjoy your day too. Love you, baby.
Love you too. That is my daddy. My daddy really is the MVP. He is so dope. He's a dope daddy. He's a dope father. He's a dope grandfather. Like he's amazing. And I'm proud to be his daughter. I'm excited that I get to call him mine. Mia. So I bust out the computer because there's a lot of comments out on here that we were not able to see on StreamYard. And so shout out to Auntie Linda. Shout out to Alina. Aaliyah. Kimberly, what's going on? Quincy, hey. Quincy out here making edibles. Alicia Killam, what's going on? Yo, Alicia, do you remember that fine-ass science teacher that we had in PCIS? No, it was Plymouth South. This fine-ass science teacher. Yo, that's the only reason why I paid attention to science. Lord have mercy. What's going on, Diamond? How you doing? Blessings, Jay. Good rising, good rising. Kaylin, how you doing from over the pond? I'm so scared, especially being a healthcare worker. I'll be the first one to take it as far as the vaccine is concerned. Tanisha, good rising, good rising. How are you? Drew, hey, Drew, how you doing? Drew was the one who said that if you ain't been caught, then you ain't with the ish. You ain't with it. If you ain't been caught doing something, then you ain't doing nothing for real, for real. Let me tell you something. What I was thinking of and what my daddy was thinking of, it was two different things. But he's absolutely right. And that gentleman is actually like a really, really good friend of mine today. Yeah, you know when you're young and dumb and do really, really stupid things in life? Sometimes I wish I could go back and change my life. Sometimes. We talked about this before, but I was technically caught by the DJ doing things on the dance floor. That was only one time. It was a long time ago. And I have to be clear, because people think like I did something last week, like, oh, Taylor talked about what she did last week. That is not what I said. So let me be clear. I did a lot of dumb things in my day. Absolutely. A lot of dumb, stupid, I can't believe you did that back when I was little. Like there's things that I am mortified to even think about, let alone even share. And so getting caught on the dance floor by the DJ, and I always wondered, like, what DJ was that? I always wanted to like bump into the DJ and be like, Taylor, let me. Do you remember 15 years ago when your ass was on the dance floor and I caught you? You remember that? I do. Like, I want to have that conversation, but I don't know who the DJ was. So we can't. Oh, well, have you ever been caught? Who caught you? Who did it? Most of the times it's them cock blocking ass kids that catch you. But if you've ever been caught in any other circumstance with your pants down, wink, wink, what happened? What happened when you got caught? And another reason why I pulled out the damn computer is because I wanted to read exactly what she said when she said she got caught by the kids. And so, I want to know, What happened when you got caught having sex by them cock-blocking ass kids? Or what happened when you got caught, period, regardless of where you were or who you were with? What happened? Who sent it to me? Here it is. Yes. So she wants to remain anonymous, so we're not going to say names. She said, my husband and I would go into our garage. We had an old couch in there, and we'd try to get a little quickie every now and then. One day, our son woke up early from his nap and was calling for his daddy. We were both about to climax, and my husband didn't want to stop. We hear our son walking closer to the door. Every time my son says, Daddy, my husband yells back, I'm coming. Daddy, I'm coming. Daddy, I'm coming. Our son gets to the garage door and starts to open it. I try to get up. Our son can't find us like this. We talked to him about sex. He's 3 years old, but this is going to be a 5 years of therapy for this kid if he walks in and finds mommy face down, ass up. I try to lift my head off the couch and signal my husband to stop. The doorknob starts to turn. The little voice says, I found you, Daddy. I thought, this is it. We're busted. My baby's going to think Daddy's hurting me. A million and other crazy thoughts are going to go through his head. Quickly, without hesitation or missing a stroke, my husband grabs the comforter off the end of the couch and throws it over me. Pulls back the back of his pants up. Our son walks in and asks, Daddy, what's going on? What are you doing? My husband says he's working on the car and decided to take a nap. He tells our son to go get dressed so he can help. Our son runs back inside as we both try to finish. He turns around and returns to the garage and asks, where's mommy? My husband gives a devilish laugh and says, mommy came already. And the son was just like, okay, and went to go put his shoes back on. And that quickly finished their session. And so I want to know, what did I do recently? The truth said, I want to know what you got caught doing recently. Recently, I don't get caught at all. There's no reason for me to get caught. I ain't doing nothing. But when I was young, I was dumb as hell when I like everywhere. When I was young, I was the movies, stupid places. So really, if the question is, where have you had sex? That's a completely different from if you ever got caught. So if we change the narrative from have you ever been caught or where did you get caught to where is the weirdest place you've had sex? It probably would have to be the dance floor. Or the park, like out open in the park. But it was nighttime. So does that count? Because nobody was there. That was probably one of the most freeing experiences in the world. To be, hold on, because I want to tell you what park it is, because it's on the top of the hill where you can see like all of the city and you can see the oil tanks. What park is that over there by Draper Street? Y'all know. The Draper Street, the Meeting House Hill. That's what it is. Ronan Park. So Ronan Park is like high on the hill in the middle of Dorchester, and you can see like the water. The sky was clear. It was a beautiful night. I'm outside damn near butt-ass naked in Ronan Park, getting it in. That was like one of the most freeing experiences in the whole wide world because everybody was asleep. It was damn near 3 a.m. Wasn't nobody outside. There was no like police sirens, no nothing. With a clear sky. Well, you can't really hear the ocean waves, but pretending in my head, looking out into the ocean, pretending though you can hear the waves. It was dope. I was like a little ass kid, but that happened. As far as the weirdest place is concerned, or like the most unorthodox place, don't nobody want to get it in a bed all the time. Who want to do that? That sounds boring. Me no want a boring gal. Nobody wants boring. Nobody wants to be bored out of their mind. Nobody wants to be doing the same thing over and over again, same position, same stroke, same this, same that. Nobody wants that in their life. Ah, Jay said, I want to make love in this club. The usher was playing and all. That is not what was happening. Getting my own Jason's lyric. Oh, that wasn't Jason's lyric. And you want to know what's crazy? Once upon a time, like I really did want to do the whole Jason lyric thing when his ass was hairy as hell in that movie. But I always wondered because Jada was on the ground and he was on top of her. Like ants exist. Ant beds are real. Like nobody. These are the things that I think about when I was watching Jason Lyric and they were having sex in the middle of the field. It was just like, yo, she's not itchy. Like that grass isn't annoying her. What about the ants? What about the beetles? What about the roly-polies? Like nobody cared about that. Yo, weird things. It be me though. It be me thinking about weird stuff that nobody else cares about. And Usher was not playing. I don't remember what was playing in the club at that time when I was doing dumb things. Only I would think about that. Of course I would. Just like I'm the only one who like when people in movies when they like start tearing off each other's clothes, I'm like, who's gonna put the buttons back on? Yo, that look like an expensive shirt. Who's gonna put the buttons back on? Or when they like jump in the bed and they still have shoes on, or even the porno. Oh my God, when people are in porn and they got shoes on the bed in porn, that's so like when they are out on the pool and they walk in all sexy coming in from the pool with their shoes on. I'm like, yo, that shit was outside, and you just gonna get in the bed with your shoes on? I'm sorry, not sorry. These are the things I think about because, yo, that is sexy. So if you're going to leave your shoes on while we do this thing, we're going to be up against, like, the kitchen counter or something. Like, I don't want the shoes in the bed. Who going to make the bed? After sex, we going to be tired. We going to want a snack and take a nap. Who gonna make the bed? Because those outside shoes on the bed is disgusting. I'm not sleeping in here after them outside shoes been on the bed. So where we going to sleep? I hate that my mind work like that, yo. Like, I really do wish that my mind worked differently. It is. If you wish to be anonymous, if you want to share your story about getting caught or somewhere that you've had sex, just inbox me. I won't tell. I won't tell your name. And the inboxes continue. You gonna make some tacos, Yvette. Wasn't that Baby Boy? That was Baby Boy, right? You about to go make some tacos? Yo, why men always want a damn sandwich afterwards? I want a sandwich. What? Why a sandwich? Is it because it's easy to make? It's just something you throw together real quick? You know, as a grown-up, when I was little, we always made like turkey and I ate ham when I was younger. So like we always made ham and cheese and turkey and cheese sandwiches in the pan. And so it's really difficult for me to be a grown up and to eat. Well, first and foremost, I don't eat meat anymore, but when I did, it was difficult for me to eat a cold sandwich. Like that was not nasty to me, but it just didn't taste right when everything is, for crying out loud, I make peanut butter and jelly in a pan with butter, and the peanut butter be melty and smooth and buttery, and the jelly be warm. I'm not for them cold sandwich types. How have you been caught? I want to know why y'all don't want to snitch. Y'all want me to spill all the beans. Don't nobody want to talk about what they do? That's what it is? Don't nobody want to tell the truth? Tell the truth. What y'all be doing? How you get got? How them kids catch you? Your parents ever catch you? I remember one time my homegirl called me and she was just like, yo, Taylor. So backstory. her and her fiance were getting ready to buy a house. And before they bought a house, they ended up staying with the parents, with his parents. And she was mortified because the parents left for church. And this is pre-COVID. The parents left for church. And so they thought they got plenty of time to get it in while the parents were gone. So apparently, whatever happened with church, oh, thank you for the flowers. Whatever happened with church, the parents came home early. I don't know. I don't know what the situation was, but the parents came home early, and these two are on the damn table getting it all the way in. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, you knew, like, this ain't even your house. Why? Why would you even the kitchen table though? Not even the kitchen table, the dining room table, the Thanksgiving table, the Christmas table? Really? And the mother came in and she was just like, oh no, this what you do when we gone. This is how y'all conduct yourself. We can't even have Christmas no more. Like when I tell you the table was thrown out. One of those like 15-person tables. Them things ain't cheap. That all wood, like bleach is not a real thing. Like pine saw wouldn't have worked. She threw that whole table out. And they got an apartment before they bought a house. She said she could not look her mother-in-law in the face. She said she was so mortified. Like, she felt so bad and just couldn't, like, she couldn't stay there no more. So she left. And upon them leaving, the mother finally made a joke and was just like, for your wedding day present, I'm going to get you guys a table. I thought it was cute, like, to finally, like, make a joke out of it and to, like, let her know that it's okay. But in the moment, she wasn't all the way heated. She was super angry. Jay said, hell, when we were younger, we all were explorers. You know, you're right. You're right. I am not exempt from being Dora the damn Explorer, doing a little bit of everything, everywhere, all the time. That's what happens when you're a young person and you don't know much about much and you do what you do. As a matter of fact, Daddy, you don't need to watch this video. I'm like, if you go back and you can hear my mother, no, Daddy, you don't need to watch this. Yo, so one time, what I thought my daddy was going to say, so Anari and Asaria's daddy came to the house one day and my daddy was there. Yo, when I tell you, like, I'm so blessed. That was the one that I really needed to get a whooping for. The one my daddy's talking about was, we didn't do bad things that day. The one my daddy's talking about, we didn't do bad things that day. Let me be clear. Daddy, the one that you're in reference to, the one with the picture at the kitchen table, yes, that one, I didn't do bad things that day. But I did do bad things another day, at another time, at another location. Okay, so let me be clear, it was another location. Listen, Taylor, while you over here snitching on yourself, let me tell you about this one time that I got caught by my son, who is now 22, but at the time was 12. He was absolutely mortified and went to stay with his dad because so okay, so she said she is a dominatrix. She's a dominatrix and she was wearing a mask and she was spanking this guy with the belt. And her son walked in and she said that the son told her, don't ever beat me with that belt again. Oh. So you had to throw out the belt just like mom had to throw out the table. You had to get a whole new belt to whip him with. Mommy, that belt hit my arm before. I could not imagine walking in. She's a dominatrix. She had on her full regalia of a dominatrix. The son didn't know it was her, and he thought like he just walked into like a horror scene, and that was his face. She said he walked in, and it looked like a scene from a horror scene. Like he saw blood and guts, and he didn't know it was me until I told him to get out, get out. And that's when the mortification, like that's when he was extremely mortified. And so apparently some dude was on all fours getting whooped with the belt. And the son, when they finally did talk about it, he was like, but mom, you hit me with the belt and it touched my arm. And the son went ahead and bathed and was scrubbing his arm. She said that he came out the shower and his arm, it looked like he tried to scrub the skin off of his arm because he was trying to wipe off booty juices. I have this vision in my head of what this looks like as far as like somebody on all fours with a leash around his neck. Lord have mercy. And to be a child seeing that, or to even like, to be a mom actually trying to explain that to Anari or Asaria, I can't even think about that. Oh, you know what? So I have been caught, but differently. All right, so here it is. Prior to my current iPhone experience, I had like a little baby iPhone, like the 4 or the 3 or something like that. And I had it for literally like for a second. But what I didn't know was once you have an iPhone, unless you, I don't know. I knew nothing about iPhones, and so I cleared out my phone and I gave it to Anari. Anari to this day will talk about how he never wants to go through my phone because of what he found in the iPhone. He'll always go back like, "Mommy, remember the iPhone?" Like I forgot. So I technically wasn't caught, but there were like pictures and videos and text messages, and apparently even if you like delete everything off the phone itself, he at this time didn't have an email address. And I was like, well, I don't want you to lie and say that you're older than you are because I don't want you to get like different emails. This was years and years ago. And it was just like, just use my email address. Completely ignorant to the fact that once he used my email address, all of the stuff that I deleted is now right back on the phone. And so he over here taking pictures with his friends, looking in the damn photo album and got pictures that he don't need to see. And so my baby said that I traumatized him when I gave him the iPhone, and he don't never want me, like I can never give Anari another. He was like, nah, if it ain't brand new, I don't want nothing that belong to you. And so just like I don't want to have that conversation with my daddy, me and Anari have never had that conversation. We have the most open, like a field relationship, but we will never talk because I don't know what was in that phone like 10 years ago, Taylor. 10 years ago, Taylor. I don't want to know what was in that phone. But he told me years after, like he went ahead and like he had to be traumatized to the point of deleting everything that was in the phone, and then turned around and was like, what was it? It was like 2 years later. He was like, Mom, can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah, of course. Let's talk. He was like, do you remember the iPhone you gave me? And I was like, yeah. He was like, did you know that when you give somebody a phone, if you don't delete the email address attached to it? And I was like, no, why? What happened? And he went through a whole, like, his dad gave him an iPhone, and then he had, like, I experienced it at a later date, at like years and years later. I'm like, yo, why this phone got everything in it like you did? He's just like, because you have to log out and delete the login information. I was like, oh, but before like all of this stuff popped up, that's when I had my epiphany, and I was like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jay said, your son is now an Android, a pro Android. He's not, though. He took it like a champ, deleted everything in that damn phone, and never talked about it until 2 years later. Yeah, that's the kid that's gonna need a friend to talk to. I've had to jump out of windows to avoid parents when I was a teen. I hid in the shower with the curtain open but hid behind it to make it look like ain't nobody in there. So many more from my youth. How when we were all younger, we were all Doors the Explorers. We sure were. My daddy you know what? That's what we should have talked about, because my daddy he'd never been caught, but he been put in some unfavorable positions. My daddy talked about this one time. This girl lived on Harvard Street, and her big sister came home. Daddy, you remember you told me this story about the girl on Harvard Street? And he said it was a triple decker, but it had a sky window in the bathroom. And they climbed out of the sky window and was, I don't, he told me like it was the coldest day. It was the coldest day in Boston. And we out there with no coats on, no nothing. And they had to figure out a way down and had to take themselves home. I don't remember if he said that they had, like, they were naked, but I think it was like she wasn't supposed to have boys in the house, and the sister came home, and so they had to hurry up and leave. And so he climbed out of a sun window out of the bathroom on the 3rd floor of a triple decker in Boston. I don't know how my daddy got down, but he alive today to tell that story. So I want to know, who else, like, what other unfavorable positions due to sex have you been in? I'm trying to think of any other. So my kids have never caught me, because with my children having, a father who is not together, any of my business was done when my kids weren't home, or my kids sleep like me. So when I sleep, you could have a whole garage band. It ain't happening. I'm knocked out. You could have a whole party. I'll be knocked up, like, yo, why the room dirty? Taylor, we had a party. You didn't hear us? No, I didn't. I was sleeping. And so my kids sleep like me. So I'll go in there, like, shake them. Is you up? Oh, no? Okay. But other than that, I would never put myself in a real position to be caught. But that's a really good question. I don't know if, like, Anari and Asaria caught me and just never told me about it. But we have open communication, so I think they would have said, like, yo, Mom, you remember that one time? I never been caught, so I don't have no stories to share. Like my daddy said, there's a lot of people in jail that got caught. There's a lot of people who, who ain't never been caught but did a lot of dirt. Who are you? Are you a get caught type of person? Or are you ain't going to jail? Happy birthday, boo. Happy birthday. Young Prince, tell me your story. Oh, hugs. Thank you for the bears and for the roses, for the hugs. I appreciate y'all. Wake Up with Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has that. Oh, God, it's almost 1 o'clock. Has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. Let's go pay these bills. When we come back, we got another story for you. Have you ever been caught by those kids? Have you ever been caught having sex? Have you ever been in unfavorable positions while having sex and had to make sure you didn't get caught? How'd that happen? How you slide out of that one? Pun intended. I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with this time of day we link up, but we're going to go pay these bills and come right back.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Taylor Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure
to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner. Taylor makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Taylor is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Let's start with the big question.
The all-new Spark FM.
Have mercy, Lord, have mercy. And so, we gonna read some of these inbox. Spark FM online. You know what? That was rude and disrespectful. So I am Taylor Andre. We are on sparkfmonline.com. Everything Spark FM, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. And I am Taylor Andre. Everything for Taylor Andre, TAYLAANDRE.com. Some of these inbox messages, right? And so when I was a kid, no more than 8 years old, I was pretty bad at picking my nose, my ears, like obsessively so. I eventually evolved into popping pimples, peeling crusties out of my eyes, all sort of stuff that I just found satisfying. One day I thought, hey, my other holes must have gross stuff in them too. So while in the shower, I decided to try and pick my butthole. I won't go into detail, but it ended with my mom entering the bathroom and me having 2 fingers up my butt. Okay. Back in college, I had gotten my first decent pocket thing. I was trying it out, and my Nigerian friend rang the doorbell. I assumed I could pretend not to hear it and finish doing what I was doing, and then call him since it was like a 2-minute walk to his place. Instead, he comes in to check if I'm home, walks in my room right as I'm about to pull up my shorts. Unfortunately, I left the pocket pum-pum, like the little fake pum-pum that you use, sitting on the desk, and he was staring at it and started to ask, and I saw that it was sweaty and just had drip all over it. He walked away, and we still have not talked about that day. But that's different. Your friend, have you ever been caught masturbating? That's a good question. I'm trying to think. No, I haven't. Anari told me that I've caught him. He was like, Mom, you remember yesterday when you came in my room? This wasn't yesterday, but he told me like a few weeks ago, maybe even like 2 months ago. He was like, Mom, listen, can we talk? And so Asaria comes in and she sits down. And so Anari's like, Mom, we need to talk. And Asaria comes in and sits down and she's like, we need to talk. And the last time we had this type of talk, it was like life-altering conversation. And so I'm nervous. I'm like, oh God, what happened? What's going on? Like how, what? He was like, can we please implement a new rule in this house? And I'm like, a new rule for what? You don't make rules. I make rules. You follow them. He was just like, can we please implement a door knocking policy? I'm like, I'm like my mother. Like, y'all don't pay no bills. I will take the door off the hinges. You will have no door. You get dressed in the bathroom. Like, nah. No. And he was like, the other night you came in my room and I was a little frustrated and I got an attitude with you. And I was like, yeah. And I was about to knock you out too. He was just like, Mom, I was doing what men do before they go to sleep. And it took me a minute because I keep forgetting that Anari's 17. Don't nobody repeat this because he don't watch the show. Don't tell him I told y'all. And he was just like, we need to implement a door knocking. And Asari is just like, I agree. And I was like, I caught you too. And she was like, no. I just think it's a good idea. So apparently I walked in on Anari attempting to masturbate. And I was like, now that I think about it, I remembered I remembered, and I was like, oh. But I was just like, yo, why you acting crazy? I can come in here if I want to. He's like, Mom, get out. I'm trying to sleep. That's what it was. I'm trying to sleep. You ain't trying to sleep. It's 10:30 at night. You don't even go to sleep at 10:30. What are you saying? I'm trying to sleep. I caught Anari doing what boys do. And I felt bad in that moment. I want to do, how many men masturbate with a condom? Can I have a show of hands? Can somebody please raise their hand, wave a little, do a thumbs up? How many men masturbate with a condom? Or do you masturbate with what's that thing called? Do men use towels? Y'all still use socks? I want to know what grown man still use a sock. Still use a t-shirt. I don't know. We've come all the way to the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and play this music because I feel like I just want to dance today. Today is a really good a good dancing day. Y'all ready to dance with me? Let's go.
Dinheiro que ela nunca tem, ouro também nunca tem, petróleo que ela nunca tem, diamante também nunca tem. Dinheiro que ela nunca tem, ouro também nunca tem, petróleo que ela nunca tem, diamante também nunca tem. Mas tem mulher bonita, homem que tá luta, no mundo inteiro trabalhador. Meu povo é pobre, mas que lá Canadá, o que aqui não tem, não tá vivido e não tá. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Que aqui é povo gosta. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Ela que nós é bom. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Que aqui é povo gosta. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Não ganha pato quando aquele bom cachupa, pontinho grogo feri pra despertar pra vida. Não ganha prato quando aquele bom cachupa, pontinho grogo feri pra despertar pra vida. Boy, quindi magari chiamano all'aria, dopo importare una corpo, vedi ingiuriare, col suo papare, ma parte in Cina corpo, e si cucinare, un po' di pappiare, io lo sa sempre in a troppo. Soma Jamashi, com mulher bonita, homem que tá luta, no mundo inteiro trabalhador. Meu povo é pobre, mas que lá Canadá, o que aqui não tem, luta vive de luta. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Que aqui é povo gosta. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Ela que nós é bom. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Que aqui é povo gosta. Come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby, come baby. Ela que nós é bom.
pasan días que nos vemos y creo que un tesoro encontré. Será verdad, aún no lo proceso. Es que eres tal como te soñé. Cuando me ves no le tengo que decir. Si mi sonrisa no sabe mentir, lo que no sabe es que mi sueño me va a cumplir. Si tú me ves y te empieza a repetir, así que ya sabes, tienes la verde pa' comerme. El mundo al revés, solo tú puedes ponerme. Es que ninguna compite contigo, mami. Yo quiero ser más que un amigo, mami. Así que ya sabes, tienes la verde pa' comerme. El mundo al revés, solo tú puedes ponerme, mami. Es que ninguna compite contigo, mami. Yo quiero ser más que un amigo, mami. Eres tú mi dream girl. Se hizo realidad lo que soñé. Voy navegando toda tu piel. Ya mojada estaba cuando toqué. Ya tengo a mi dream girl. Ella es mía y de más nadie. Es que siempre quiero ver. Es una bendición tenerte. Baby say, no. Baby guarda amore, tu lo mite. Lie. No me da un amor suficiente. Baby say, mami, tapa mi dream girl. Tapa sota parecete. Baby, tapa so mi di. But they don't go meet the feel. But me ta feel say. Tapa so mi que. Yeah, but I'm in dream girl. Iri. Tranquilizado. Mami. La que pide tiempo. Dímelo, boya. Dímelo, boya, hey. Lo fucking sunshine. Watch at that time, man. The fucking image, yeah.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.